Dinosaur National Monument is located near the Green River in eastern Utah. This tram provides access to the monument. The monument is truly a Jurassic Park. The tram travels back in time through the uplifted rock layers of the Uinta Mountains. These specific rocks are known as the Morrison Formation. They have yielded large numbers of dinosaur remains. The National Park Service offers a guided tour along the face of the Morrison Formation. The Morrison Formation dates from the Jurassic period of the Mesozoic era, or the Age of Dinosaurs. This trail is called the Fossil Discovery Trail.
Looking at rocks is kind of like looking at the pictures and trying to find out clues. There's information in there we can look at and figure out to see what was happening when that rock was laid. Since these are sedimentary rocks, and sedimentary rocks usually are laid down because of water depositing things, one thing we look at is ripple marks. If you do a cross-section of the rocks, you can look to see what the ripple marks look like. And since ocean waves move back and forth, they leave a different type of ripple mark than, say, a river, which is just one direction. The ripple marks are very distinctly different. So they can look at that and see what kind of environment. So as we go up here, I'll point out some of the bone pieces, and you can see how it's in there, give a paleontologist the clue that, yes, okay, this is the kind of rock that has fossils in it, and hopefully you can find something worth digging up. Yep, and there's a whole bunch right along down here, and one here, and one really nice big one right down along behind this bush. So this really long one here, and then the one up here, and then there's a whole bunch of little ones just kind of in here. So okay, and since there's bones in the rocks, sometimes we get bones in the rocks falling off, because this is a big bone right here. This is a vertebrae. This is the backbone. This is where the disc would be, so it would be kind of the spine would build up that way. So. Okay, now you see the vertebrae there, and then if you're looking around, you see here's another part of a lower leg bone. Oh, yeah. So you're like, okay, cool, two of them in the same place.
Extensive excavations have been carried out along the face of the Morrison Formation. In 1958, this dinosaur quarry exhibit hall was built directly on the face of the Jurassic Morrison Formation. From inside the quarry exhibit hall, visitors have an impressive view of the exposed face of the Morrison Formation. It is dotted with some 1,600 fossil bones that have been left in relief. At least 17 dinosaur skeletons found here were complete enough to be mounted as individuals in museums around the country. Many of the quarry's dinosaur fossils are the best found anywhere. In 1909, Earl Douglas, a paleontologist from the Carnegie Museum in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, discovered this dinosaur quarry. By 1920, Douglas had excavated 350 tons of dinosaur skeletons from here. What ancient animals are represented in this jumble of bones? Sauropods account for about 75% of the fossil bones found in the quarry. Next to me is a model of a sauropod dinosaur. Sauropods walked on all four limbs, had long necks, and were plant eaters. They weighed 3 to 4 times more than a modern African elephant. This is a 1/4 scale model skull of one of the most common sauropods found at the quarry. It was a robust, medium-sized animal called a Camarasaurus. Note the chisel-like teeth that were used to remove foliage from tree branches. Shown in relief at the quarry is this very well-preserved skull of a Camarasaurus. A much less well-preserved Camarasaurus skull can also be seen. These are Camarasaurus neck vertebrae. This is a Camarasaurus shoulder blade. A mixture of Camarasaurus ribs, shoulder blades, and leg bones are displayed here. The tail vertebrae can also be discerned. It can be seen then that a nearly complete Camarasaurus individual lies in this section of the quarry. The quarry provides a close-up, hands-on experience with some of the large sauropod leg bones of animals like the Apatosaurus, the Diplodocus, and the Camarasaurus. Next to me is a scale model of a small part of the quarry face. It shows mostly large Apatosaurus and Diplodocus bones. The sandstone composition of the rock in the quarry, as well as the horizontal position of the bones, suggests that the bodies of the dinosaurs were embedded in a sandbar of an ancient river. This is the section of the quarry face represented in the model. About 15 to 20% of the bones from the quarry come from a very unique plant-eating dinosaur called Stegosaurus. The Stegosaurus had a very small head, large bony plates on his back, and a spiked tail that was most likely used for defense. The average Stegosaurus was about 20 feet long and weighed from 2 to 5 tons. Embedded in the quarry are Stegosaurus ribs and a vertebra. Here are some Stegosaurus backplates, as well as related vertebrae. An almost complete Stegosaurus specimen is scattered here. Meat-eating dinosaurs, like the Allosaurus, are rare in the quarry. They account for less than 5% of the fossils. This Allosaurus skull was found in the quarry. In the center of this mass of bones can be seen an Allosaurus hip bone. This is the exterior of the recently rebuilt Dinosaur Quarry exhibit hall.